In 2010, DreamWorks released three movies, which is kind of crazy. They've released two before, but three? That's kind of crazy, you know what I mean? So you'd think that all three of them would have quality issues, but the odd thing is, there isn't. All three of the movies are some of the best movies that DreamWorks ever released. Starting with How to Train Your Dragon, which does stuff that Monsters vs. Aliens could never do, which is be successful enough to actually have a franchise and not teeter off into one TV show that no one saw. And yeah, that's How to Train Your Dragon. It spawned two sequels, a TV series, bunch of shorts, as well as doing stuff like not having terrible human designs and actually having good 3D without it being shoved in your face like Monsters vs. Aliens. And it's the big success. It's based on a book, and let's see why. So How to Train Your Dragon is about, well, dragons, obviously. But dragons who keep attacking this Viking village, and they have a kind of a war against each other. The dragons keep stealing their crap, and the Vikings keep trying to kill the dragons. And the one character, who is the main character, who's the son of the chief, Hiccup, wants to kill a dragon to prove that he's worthy, because everyone else thinks he's not, because he's kind of lame.
Not so much what you look like, it's what's inside that he can't stand. Thank you for summing that up.
Though he technically gets lucky, because he did shoot down one of the rarest and elusive dragons, the Night Fury, and he tries to kill it, but he can't do it, because look at this little guy, he's adorable. So as said, he frees the Night Fury, and unlike most dragons who are known to kill people, it doesn't. It just flies away. And meanwhile, there's dragon training with these characters who are probably the worst characters in the movie. They're the only ones who actually have celebrity voice casts, and they're kind of annoying pretty much, other than Astrid, because she's actually a main character. But the other ones, they kind of suck, and they're usually the worst part of the How to Train Your Dragon franchise. And fortunately for us, they're barely in the movie, and they're just crappy comic foil. So most of the movie is Hiccup trying to train this dragon who he names Toothless because he has retractable teeth. And he learns a lot about dragons and learns that they're not actually all bad. They're kind of like big dogs and they're only attacking because they have to. But we'll get to that later. And he also tries to help Toothless here, who is missing part of his tail feather, I guess. Fin? What do you call that? Tail fin? Because it broke. All of a sudden, the town gets impressed by Hiccup because he knows how to train dragons, basically. He knows stuff that they don't because he's been in close proximity to them. Unlike them, who are just trying to fight them. It's what happens when you learn how to nurture rather than torture. Of course, one of the most famous scenes in the movie is the flying scenes because of how well animated they are. Because, of course, he fixes his tail, but unfortunately for Toothless, in order for him to really fly, he has to have a driver because of his tail fin, basically. But these scenes are great, and I guess they look good in 3D, because everyone says, oh, it looks great in 3D. I don't watch movies in 3D, because it annoys my eyes, but hey, if it looks good in 3D, I bet it does, because this looks pretty great. We also learn why the dragons keep attacking and stealing livestock, because they're trying to feed another dragon, who I guess is kind of the Alpha Dragon. They kind of establish what Alpha Dragon is in the next movie. But yeah, basically just one big dragon every other dragon has to feed, basically, if that makes any sense. But, yeah, this is not that interesting of a villain, because it's just a big dragon who doesn't really have a personality. It adds for an exciting climax, but other than that, it doesn't have much of a character. Also, this tough fuck gets eaten alive. When it comes for the big day for him to kill a dragon for everybody, he's like, I'm not going to kill any dragons, because I like dragons, and I'm going to show you how to train your dragon. And unfortunately, no one listens, and the dragon attacks instead. Oh, and Toothless tries to help, but unfortunately for him, the Vikings capture him, and they use him to take him to the Dragon Island, basically. Also, unsurprisingly, the gruff Viking dad is disappointed in his son, not getting Father of the Year.
You're not a Viking. You're not my son.
So, all the little bratty bastards had to learn how to fly their own dragons, had to learn how to train their dragons, if you will. The only dragon that can really do any damage is Toothless, because the other dragons kind of suck ass. And during the battle, Hiccup actually dies here. It's actually kind of sad. Okay, so he actually didn't die, but did lose his leg there, which is, I guess that kind of sucks. But hey, Viking engineering's pretty good in here. Now the whole town of Vikings like dragons now, because they learned how to train their dragons. And that is the end of How to Train Your Dragon, the movie from 2010. I do have a lot to say about How to Train Your Dragon, because it's a good movie, but it's one of those good movies there's much to say. It kind of speaks for itself. It's like Kung Fu Panda. I can't say anything about it to make you go watch it. Go watch it. Is all I gotta say. It was this underrated movie, which this isn't. Everyone knows it's good. So yeah, if you haven't watched it, go watch it. I get 5 out of 5, or 10 out of 10. It has a little bit of flaws, but not enough to hinder the movie. Great pacing. The animation still holds up. The character models look way better than they do in the other Monsters and Aliens. It's like night and day. And it honestly feels more like a Pixar movie than a DreamWorks movie, oddly enough. Less celebrity voice casting. There is, but it's not the main draw, unlike the other DreamWorks movies. The animation is top-notch, and it's just a very creative and wonderful movie, so, like I said, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. How to Train Your Dragon enters the S tier alongside Shrek 2, Shrek, and Kung Fu Panda. Someone said that Shrek was overrated, and I gotta say that you are fucking smoking crack. And that's all I gotta say about that. The giant dragon, I'm not sure if it has a name or not, goes in the top of D tier. While it does make a threat, it's only really at the end of the movie. And just to have like everyone unite against something, all the Vikings, who are technically the Viking culture was the true villain, kind of like a modern day Disney movie, like, oh, the true villain was by trauma, or something like that. It works better in How to Train Your Dragon than a lot of the Disney movies, especially Strange World. That movie sucked. But yeah, the final dragon, while it does make for a fun fight, there's not much of a villain there. Like, he doesn't really have much of motivation other than, I'm a giant dragon, rawr. So you know what I mean? While it's entertaining, it doesn't really leave much to you. And just, like I said, the dragon only appears at the very end of the movie, so it's not like a huge threat throughout the entire movie, if you know what I mean. But yeah, that's How to Train Your Dragon, and I forget which film is next. It's either I think it's Shrek Forever After, so stay tuned for that.